So there was a time 1 year ago when I was absolutely broken. What I would do to get around my town, because obviously I couldn't afford Ubers. Like now I literally take Ubers everywhere, right? Everywhere, Rolls Royces included. And there was a time when I couldn't do that. I couldn't afford that. And I didn't want to just walk everywhere because it was a bit inconvenient. That's what I used to do for most of the time, and I was in absolutely amazing shape because all I would do is walk everywhere. I actually had this guy who used to drive around in his car. We had this blue BMW, and he had his dog in the passenger seat all the time with his head out the window like that, right? I don't know why I did that. And he always used to comment and say to, because I used to speak to everyone in my little block in the council estate, and we had this park nearby. And I used to walk around the park all the time. Then I used to walk from the park all the way to the gym, so across the street, down the main road, etc. Then I used to walk from the gym back to my house. So he used to see me just walking back and forth everywhere. And I had like a fucking 8-pack, bro, because I was just defined and in shape all the time. And he used to say to me, fucking hell, you could walk a marathon. Like, bruv, you're always walking. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. So I don't really know how I got onto that point. But regardless, walking everywhere because I couldn't afford transport. I used to ride around on these stolen rented bikes because I couldn't afford transport. And obviously it was faster. And I just enjoy cycling, bro. It's peaceful for the mind. While I'm trying to meditate on this stolen bike, people always got to get in the way. And I'll get to that in a second. But there used to be these rented bikes. There still are now to this day in UK cities. I think you can find them in Amsterdam as well, or maybe in America they might have them too. But you can rent these bikes out. You just tap your phone or your card on the scanner on the front of the bike where the basket is, right? And it unlocks the bike. It's got like a lock on the back near the wheel, so it stops it from the wheels from moving if it's locked. Sometimes with these rented hire bikes, they're already unlocked. Someone either just doesn't know how to unlock it, or they've just left it there, or someone else has robbed it or forced the lock open. Certain different reasons that the lock's unlocked sometimes, and you can just ride the bike without paying for it. So I used to find these. The universe used to bless me, and literally I'd be walking down the street and just find it. And what I would do, because I used to live on a council estate with my parents, I used to take from wherever I found it. I used to go to my girlfriend's house on the other side of town in her student accommodation and see these rented bikes just left unlocked. I'm like, yo, when I go back home, I'm taking that. Instead of like running back home or something, I'm taking that and I'm hiding it in a bush somewhere in my council estate. So that's what I used to do to get around town. I used to do it all the time to go to the gym. Obviously, this is hypothetical if any police are watching. I don't do this, of course. I would never rob anything. But I used to get around town on these hired, rented bikes, right? And this one time, I was riding around my block, because I like to stand up and move around when I'm talking to people, when I'm on coaching calls. It just helps me flow. It helps the oxygen get to the brain, helps the blood flow. It helps me stand with good posture and confidence and authority when I'm talking. I sound convicting when I'm on the phone, right? So what I used to do, and also just to get out the house, because I used to have like my whole family there, and my baby sister coming in the room and crying and shit. Little brothers coming in like, hey, can we play chess? And I'm like, one sec, bro, I want a coaching call. So I had a lot of shit going on in the house, right? So I used to just like to leave the house as well to get some peace and quiet. So I used to ride around my council estate, around the block, on this stolen bike, with the phone in one hand, talking to a coaching client, and just riding the bike with the other hand, all right? Proper fucking hustling. And these calls were like $120 per hour. And I used to get like a couple per month. So I was making like a couple hundred per month. But I was still broke because after all my expenses, rent paid for, etc., food, whatever else, I had literally nothing. Sometimes I'd go into the minus. So I'd go into my overdraft. So I was riding around on the council estate, on this bike, phone in one hand, talking to a coaching client. It's the first time I ever spoke to this guy as well. So obviously first impressions matter. They're very important. I wanted to make sure I left a good one. I was riding around on the block and we were talking about social skills and mindset and women and dating and, you know, everything really, just like how to live a good life. Now, nowadays I have a school of life. You can find my paid community in the description or the comment section if you're interested in joining an organization that helps you learn how to play the game of life, because life's a video game. I'm sure we can both agree. And you want to learn how to play it correctly in every single realm, from the art of seduction and attraction to making money, trading and investing, bedroom game, dirty talk, all that other shit, curing premature ejaculation, porn addiction. It's all in there, and it will teach you how to become a man of substance in this world. That is the school of life down below. Now, that's a little over $3 a day. Back then, I was charging $120 per hour of my time. And at the end of this call, we were literally about to wrap up for the hour. I come around the corner again. So I was just cycling around this block, not too far from my house. And then I come around the corner to where the main road is. Okay, so you can imagine there's this block with four roads that just kind of lead into each other with loads of houses on each side, right? I come out of this block onto the main big road that leads towards where the park was that I mentioned before. Now on this main road, my house is literally on this avenue on the main road. So the main road, then you turn off to this avenue and there's like a council estate, and that was where my house was. And I came onto this main road, parked the bike up for a second just while I composed myself and, you know, said my goodbyes to this coaching client. Before I could say goodbye to him, before I could even wrap the call up, a police car literally comes skirting in right in front of me because I'm on the pavement where the curb is, right? It comes on the curb, practically hitting me, just skirts up next to me. 2 officers jump out aggressively, bro. I'm only on a stolen bike, chill the fuck out. Jump out the fucking car. Probably thought I was dodgy. I was wearing like a hoodie or something at the time. I used to dress that didn't help my cause, right? It didn't help my cause at all. I was dressing comfy, bro. I had my tracky bottoms on, my fucking Nike Air Forces with holes in them because I couldn't afford new ones, and I had blisters in my feet because I couldn't afford any new ones. But anyway, I was dressed dodgy and I was on the phone. So to them, on a stolen bike, because on these rented bikes, if they haven't been paid for but they're unlocked, the light on the back, the red light, flashes. It's not supposed to flash, it's supposed to just be stagnant, but it flashes to notify authorities that it's been robbed and it's not been paid for. So I didn't know this at the time, but thankfully I learned a lesson now. And I'll get onto that in a second. But these officers pull up and they jump out the car. Obviously I'm looking dodgy. This was in the middle of the day, so it was like broad daylight, like sun's out and everything. Kids are playing around in the background, ice cream vans out. And I'm on the phone with this coaching client. And they get out and they're like this in front of me. And I'm on the bike and I don't look at them yet. Obviously I can see them right in front of the bike, but I don't acknowledge them. I don't look at them and say, all right, or anything like that. I'm just kind of looking at the phone, like, yeah, all right, mate, nice one. I really appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you very much. And then put the phone away and I'm like, all right, officers, everything okay? And so you do realise you're in possession of a stolen, I don't think they said vehicle, but they said something else, like stolen transport or some shit like that, right? You do realise you're in possession of a stolen transport. I'm like, what? No, I had no idea. No, I never do that. What are you talking about, bro? Obviously, hypothetically, in an alternate universe, of course I knew. But I was playing dumb. I was like, no, I don't know. What are you on about? No idea. No. But I was completely polite and completely respectful, right? At first, they were a bit aggressive and hostile towards me. Like, we're going to have to detain you. Let me get your details. Where do you live? You know, can I have your phone, please? Unlock it for me. Just like going through my phone. What does that have to do with anything? Anyway, going through my phone, probably trying to check if I paid for it. And they were like, yeah, we're going to have to detain you. Now, the difference between detaining someone and arresting them is detaining basically just means you are not allowed to leave for a short period of time. Wherever you are, you have to stay with the officers for a short period of time. You're not allowed to leave. Arresting someone basically just means you're going to not jail, but you go into custody, right? You go into custody. They question you in custody. They take you to the fucking back room and question you, whatever, right? That's the difference. So I was detained. I wasn't allowed to leave. They were getting my details on the stupid notepad. Where were you from? Where do you live? I'm like, literally there, mate, across the road. And he looks and he's like, okay, yeah, notes it down. And there's 2 of them. And one of them's like looking at the bike. He's like, can you step off the bike, please? I'm like, yeah, of course. And I was completely respectful, by the way. I wasn't a dickhead in any way. Now, in my area, they are always in my area. There's police all the time. There are literally people being shot with shotguns in the fucking kneecaps. People getting kneecapped in my council estate. There was a guy once, way back in the day. And this was outside my ex-girlfriend's house at the time. And she called me like, oh, there's loads of shit going on. You need to get over it. Some guy had an axe and he was like swinging an axe around at everyone. And he was having an argument with his wife or something. He was swinging an axe at her. And she had a baby in her hand at the time as well. So, but my estate's crazy, by the way. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's mad. There's always police vans outside, police dogs, armed police outside the fucking house. I'd be trying to go to sleep at 4 a.m. listening to some meditation manifestation podcast. And it was like, police outside the fucking house. I'm like, oh, here we go again. It was entertaining. I'm used to it. I'm from there. So I know everyone around there. I know all the kids on the block. I know all the guys there. I know the gang. I know all of them. So we're cool with everyone, right? And it was funny. Because it's just where I'm from, it's what I'm used to. But because I knew everyone, I was standing there, detained, not able to go anywhere. This guy had my phone, police officer had my phone, he was taking notes, the other one was taking notes. And I saw all these guys that obviously I knew from around the area. And they're all like masked up and stuff, with hoods up and shit. And I was dressed like normal. I was in my tracky bottoms and I think I just had a t-shirt on, I can't really remember, and like a cap or something. And they were riding around with the masks on and hoods up on bikes that were probably actually stolen from someone else, not even a company. And they were all riding past, like 6 of them. And they were like, yes, Luke, are you good, yeah? Are you good? And they always used to say like, yes, Luke, you all right, yeah? They used to like, just acknowledge me. And they, and bro, they all went past as I'm sat here getting detained, looking like the most normal, innocent guy ever, while they're going past with balaclavas on in 20-degree summertime heat. So anyway, that was happening, that was funny. And but what I think probably did it for me, the reason I got out of this situation using literally just my social skills and my communication skills, was because most of the individuals in that area were like dodgy and were dickheads. When the police were coming, they just had no respect for the police at all. Oh, fuck off, pigs, whatever, that kind of stuff. Now, when they detained me, I was very polite from the start. I was like, is everything okay? Do you need anything? Like, what's going on? Because I acted completely innocent. I acted completely dumb. And of course, this is all entertainment purposes, not trying to incriminate myself. But I acted completely dumb. And I think that took them back a little bit. They're like, I'm not used to that round there. Usually people are getting shot and shit and swearing at each other and calling us pigs. This guy's actually nice. I think that instantly took them back and they're like, okay, cool, we can put our guard down a little bit. He's not a dickhead. He's not like one of these youths. Great, amazing. That's number one. Be nice to everyone. And I know it sounds like very, very standard advice, but it's so overlooked. And I know it's difficult. I do this all the time, especially as a man. I want to relate to you on something here. When you're walking down the street, if you've got a woman with you especially, or you've got family or something you need to protect. Anyway, even when I'm walking by myself, especially in the UK, it's different in Asia. When I went to Thailand, this is one of the things I loved about Thailand, is everyone's so nice and you don't have to walk around with this guard up all the time. I feel like people, men especially, walk around with this negative guard up. It's like we're trying to identify threats and hostiles and badness all of the time when we step outside the house. But what this does is it puts us in an aggressive state as well. So every interaction, every person we walk past, every individual we speak to, we're already in this negative mindset. Whereas if you can try, I know it's difficult, especially in the UK, if you live in the UK like myself, it is difficult. A lot of the time I'm walking, and I was in a shopping mall yesterday for Black Friday, completely normal, nice day, and I'm walking around like, looking at hostiles, looking at people that, I'm always trying to identify threats and shit in this go militant mindset. My girlfriend's telling me a nice, beautiful story or something, so I understand how it might be difficult to do this, but if you can try and practice this positive fun and you go out into the world of positivity and niceness and try and be kind. Of course, I'm not saying be a pushover or be a pussy. If anyone starts anything, of course, then you activate aggressive mode, but it is much better for you to just disarm everything and walk around with a positive demeanor and be nice to people when you first encounter them. I was walking down this canal, there's a canal right next to my apartment, and I walk down here at night time at like 2 a.m. and listen with my headphones in. I'm just listening to music and thinking about life, right? I love to go on walks and stuff by myself, it's good. And I walk past people at 2 a.m. and everyone's got the hoods up, me included, and I'm trying to look as dodgy as possible. Just like, leave me alone, bro, you know what I mean? But I've got my hood up, not only that, it's just fucking cold. And I'm walking past people, and I notice most of the time, especially when I'm not consciously thinking of what I just told you there, I'm in this mindset of like intimidation, not from me, but trying to intimidate other people, right? Or hostility, or like, ready to fight all of the time. And I love a good fight. I love it. It's fun. I got a lot of rage in me when it needs to come out. So fighting's fun. But you don't want to operate from that mindset. If you understand the realities of violence, it's not a good mindset to operate from. If I'm walking past someone on the canal, and most of the time I've got my bad man Jamaican music on, I'm walking down a canal, I'm like, I almost want something to happen sometimes because it gives me an excuse to fight. And I like fighting, it's fun. And I don't ever want to start a fight without any excuse, just to be a dickhead. I don't want to do that, right? So almost sometimes I'm kind of subconsciously provoking people. I'm walking past them. It doesn't happen most of the time, but sometimes I walk past them and I'm like eyeing them down. I'm walking past, not breaking eye contact, aggressive face on. But everyone does it in the UK. It's like a thing that everyone's just hostile. Everyone's negative like that. Everyone's like, the fuck's he looking at? What's he trying to do? Is he trying to rob me? What's this? That's kind of what it's like, right? But I noticed, because I started to consciously try and do the opposite. And I walk past people, even at 2 a.m. and I'll just be like, you're right, bro. Nice, positive demeanor. That is the key. And I did that with the police. I did that with everyone on the block. I did that with everyone I come into contact with in the gym. Everywhere in my life, that's how I treat people. I'm always nice, positive, respectful. Obviously, until you give me a reason not to. Even in the club, I told you boys about that fight I had in the club. Me and my brother versus like 10 guys, 2v10. Initially, they bumped into us, and he turned around to me and said, why are you pushing me? I was like, oh, my bad, bro, I didn't mean to. Even though I knew he pushed me first, I knew he was trying to start something, I still de-escalated. I was like, my bad, bro, I didn't mean to, you know. And then he came close to my face and was like, do that again and I'll kill you. That's when I was like, all right, listen, bro, this guy needs humbling. Do you know what I mean? He needs sorting out. And that's when I absolutely pummeled his face into the concrete. But anyway, besides the point, again, that's hypothetical, never happened. There was no CCTV, don't worry about it. Shh, wasn't there. But be nice, be positive, be respectful. When you interact with individuals in the world, even if you don't know them, even if you're walking down the street and it's a dodgy kind of situation, trust me, being nice just diffuses people. They don't know what to do. It's a law of power, and we teach you the laws of power. I'm not talking about the book. We teach you the laws of influence and power in my school of life down below. But it's a law of power. You get the power over someone because everyone's trying to look and respond to aggression with more aggression, negativity with more negativity. They're trying to respond to it like that. So if you disarm that negativity with positive energy, with niceness, in a firm and masculine way, not like not like a pussy, yo. Like, all right, bro, you good, yeah? Confident, firm, authority. I walked down the street and I used to have this guy that hated me. He was threatening to stab me on the block. We're cool with everyone now, right? I'm cool with this guy. But he used to say, yeah, you walk around like you own the block. And I used to walk around by myself. I used to go to the shop by myself to get milk for my mum. You know, just normal shit. And just the way I walk, I'm confident. I got good posture. I'm built. I'm in good shape. So I walk around, and he's like, "Yeah, you walk around like you own the block with your chest out." I'm like, "It's just how I walk, bro. I don't mean nothing by it, you know." But you have to hold that. You have to hold that confidence while still maintaining that niceness. I'm still nice to everyone. I'm like, "Yeah, all right, bro. Yeah, you're good. Yeah." I'm still an empathetic and caring and soft person, but I hold myself in a firm, masculine, confident way. You need that balance. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a pushover. But at the same time, don't be a dickhead, right? Find that balance in yourself and do it in a way that makes you come across as confident. Back to the point. That instantly diffused the police officers because most of the time they're used to that negativity. So when they finally get into a conversation with someone that's normal, and you know what? I have a laugh with everyone. I can be friends with literally anyone on this planet. I'm so good at that. People are actually in awe at my social ability. I know I sound like such an arrogant dickhead. But trust me, in real life, I've met people, and my girlfriend said this as well. She's like, how the fuck do you do it? How do you do it? My girlfriend's friends have said it as well. I've met their boyfriends or something in person. They're like, they love me. Bro, it's funny, do you know what I mean? But anyway, you need that ability because it's a people skills and it's communication skills and it's social skills. Now, they started questioning me, where do you live, all this, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of it, throughout the whole thing, I played dumb. I was like, I didn't realize. I thought, you could just get on them. I thought they were just there to use. I'd never used them before. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to cause any inconvenience. I didn't mean to cause any harm, right? I didn't mean to do anything wrong. My bad. You got to put your ego to one side. Stop trying to look like a bad man all the time. Put your ego to one side. You have to think smart. I ain't never getting arrested. I ain't never getting detained, bruv. Get myself out of these situations. I ain't never getting stabbed. Only fucking idiots get stabbed. The fuck you getting yourself into a situation where you're getting stabbed for? Why? Trying to act like a bad man. Trying to act like the big man. What the fuck are you doing? Retard. Bro, so many times I've talked myself out of these kind of situations. So at the end of this, I was like, yeah, sorry guys, sorry, didn't realize. Right? Completely positive, polite, respectful. Treating them like human beings. Looking them in their eyes. Talking to them. Maybe having a bit of a laugh if you can push it that far. I had a bit of banter with them as well. I was like, I definitely won't be doing that again. You know what I mean? My bad. So, and they were laughing with me. And at the end, they were like, yeah. So they told me about the flashing red light. That's how I know about it. They told me about the light was flashing. That's how we knew. Try and avoid those ones because I acted dumb, like I didn't realize. I was like, yeah, of course, my bad. Sorry. I won't be doing that again. Ha. Shook their hands. Have a good day. Thank you. And then they tried to put the bike in the boot of the car, or the trunk of the car for the Americans, and it couldn't fit, so they just left it on the street. So realistically, I could have just took it again, but I ain't falling for that twice because that would have been a definite fucking arrest after that. But yeah, that's one situation, how I just use my social skills, my charisma and my politeness, and also just understanding people, my people skills. Put myself in their shoes. They don't want to deal with dickheads all day. They're just doing their job. So understand people, be interested in them, pay attention, listen to them, make them feel heard. When I got surrounded by 10 guys on my council estate once, way back in the day when I had a different girlfriend and everything, right? I was on the council estate. I used to walk this dog, this sheepdog, and she was quite overprotective. She was a bit aggressive to some degree, and she used to bark at everyone. And they knew that, and they used to try and provoke my dog. And like, every time I walk past, they try and provoke her. Because she was chill until you tried to do something, right? And then they'd be like, trying to piss the dog off to get it annoyed. And I understand, they're just like youngins, you know what I mean, on the block. They're just trying to find something to do, they're bored, I get it. but it was annoying. And one day I was pissed off and I was walking past him, I was walking past his shop, and another one of these guys, like 10 of them, right? And one of them walked past me and he was like, and he was in a bad mood as well. And we both walked past each other and I was like eyeing him down like this, almost to speak with my eyes, like, what the fuck are you looking at? And then he was like, whoa, I'm gonna fucking stop you, I'm gonna stop you, whatever. And all 10 of them surrounded me, the dog's barking, everything's going crazy. And for a moment I calmed myself down because that situation could have escalated and I could have been outnumbered. My dog would have probably killed him, but still, and so would have I. Anyway, you don't want to put yourself in these situations in the first place. So I was standing there and I thought, right, let me just de-escalate this, let me calm down because I'm outnumbered, this is stupid. And he had a friend, this guy that was getting pissed off, like the main one in the group, the loud one, who was saying he was going to stab me. And he had a friend next to him who was quite like a chubby guy. And the chubby guy was like, yo, bro, let's just leave it. And then the leader of the group was like, shut up, you fat shit. And I said to the chubby guy, I was like, you're going to let him talk to you like that? And he was like, he went all quiet and all like pussy or whatever. And I was like, listen, lads, I don't know any of you like that. Because this was quite early on when I moved to the estate, right? Well, I don't know any of you like that. I don't know you. Why are we even beefing? Because this has been going on for quite some time. Every time I'd see them, they'd start something. Every time I'd see them, they'd try and aggravate the dog or threaten to stab me or whatever, try something. And every single time I stood my ground, I just stood there. And I think part of them respected that I wasn't a pussy. That's what they were trying to get. They were trying to get that reaction, trying to feel that power over me. And I didn't. I just stood there, one guy by myself. I don't feel fear in these kind of situations. It's funny because I try and explain it to you guys. And I'm like, how do you replicate that same confidence? I think it's not fearlessness. Because let me reword what I was saying. I feel fear to some degree, of course, because I'm in a dangerous situation. But I don't feel fear to the degree where I'm like, oh, I need to run away. I kind of like the fear. And the only way I can teach you guys how to get that same level of confidence where you stand your ground to a way where you're not putting yourself in a dangerous situation, but at the same time, you're not showing that you're a pussy. The only way I can teach you how to do that is if you try to understand your fear, try and get used to pain and discomfort and uncomfortability and negativity and all the bad shit in life, and try and just sit with all of it. Sit with it and feel it and get used to it. Because when you're used to it, it's not as scary. The thing is about fear is people don't understand their fear and they naturally freeze or they get like reclused or they go into a shell or they try and run away because they don't understand it. I'm very familiar with fear. I put myself in dangerous situations, well, to some degree, of course, not stupid, but you know, I've felt fear plenty of times in my life. I understand what it's like, both controlled and uncontrolled fear. And if you can get used to negativity, you start to be able to harness it and you can control it and you can use it to your advantage. So when I'm in situations like that, even though logically speaking, yeah, I probably would have got, you know what, I don't even know, bro. This is what I'm saying, I'm kind of delusional. I don't even know if I would have got outnumbered because I would have just knocked out the guy that was the loudest and most of them would probably just backed off. That's usually what happens. But anyway, even if I did get outnumbered, I am so confident in my ability to the fact where even though I'm feeling fear, I kind of just enjoy it. I like the challenge, I like it. I'm like, yeah, let's see if I can pull this off. And I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a psycho. I've got a lot of stories I could tell you that probably correlate to that, but I don't know, I like fear, I like negativity, I like danger, I like a thrill, I like these things. And I think as a man, if you can condition yourself to these things, any sort of situation where you're put in a similar emotional state, you'll be able to control it. You need to become familiar in order to control it. Fear for a lot of people is difficult, one second, because they don't understand it and they can't control it, whereas I'm used to it. I do things that scare me every single day. I do things that are out of my comfort zone every single day. Just that basic action that you guys can all do every single day is you becoming more familiar with fear. So if you're ever in a situation where you actually feel real fear, you can control it. And you almost enjoy it. Right, yeah, let's go. This is fun, it's different. Normal life is mundane, it's boring. You wake up, you do your work, go to the gym, cool. But in a situation like that, I kind of thrive off of it because it's different, it's fun. But anyway, to get to the point of the story, social skills again was used in that. I didn't have to fight anyone. The only time I've ever really escalated a situation was the club story I told you about. And that was just because he was attacking my brother. So I was like, I'm bored, let's go. Why not? This guy's annoying. But most of the time you don't want to do that because that could have ended very, very badly. Now, luckily me and my brother are absolutely bad man, so just dealt with the situation. But you don't want to put yourself in there. I'm not advising you to do that in any way. So in this same situation where I was surrounded by 10 guys and they're threatening to stab me, whatever. I talked my way out of it. I was like, listen, I don't know you guys. I don't know why we're beefing all the time. I don't even know you, bro. You seem like a cool guy. And I reasoned with him. Do you see what I did? I played to his ego. You seem like a cool guy. I wasn't afraid to put myself in a position of somewhat vulnerability by saying that. But I did it in a confident way. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to find the balance. You can't be like, guys, please, let's not beef anymore. You got to be like, listen, lads, I don't even know you. Why are we beefing? I don't want to waste my time with this shit. I got shit to do. You seem like a cool guy. I have no problem with you. So let's just end it here. And instantly, bro, I could see it in his eyes. He was like, yeah. Instantly diffused him. And obviously everyone else was kind of just following him anyway. So it wasn't very that difficult. It was just him I had to get through to. And I did, just with a bit of empathy, a bit of understanding, putting myself in his shoes. What is he looking for? He's probably got a shit life. His mum's probably on crack. He probably don't even know his dad. And he's got nothing going for him. He's probably broke. He's got nothing else to do. I don't blame him. I'd do the same thing. It's fun. Trying to get a reaction out of someone and he's got a spazzy, aggressive dog. I'd do the same thing. I completely understand why he's doing what he's doing. This is the skill you need to adopt. It's people skills. It's empathy. It's understanding people from their perspective. If you can get into their brain, you can influence them to do absolutely anything. I've just taken a guy with nothing to lose who's threatening to stab me, who probably would have, because he's that stupid, doesn't understand the consequences. And I've taken him from code red aggression to friends with me just by using my voice. And you're trying to tell me that you won't be able to make 10K per month with that kind of influence? Of course you will. This goes to anything. This goes to, you're on a date with a woman and you're trying to convince her that, well, obviously you're not going to do it. When I use the word convince, you're not doing it in a beggy way, but you're just speaking to her in a way that makes her think, this guy's attractive. It's all influence. It's all human psychology. So I don't understand that. And even to this day now, all of those guys that I used to have beef with, if you even want to call it that, it sounds so childish, but it's the best way I can explain it. All of them are cool with me. All of them know my name. I know all of their names. They're all cool. They look out for my family as well. There's one time there was my stepdad and he had this Jaguar because he was working for some boss or some manager at a company and he was just using his Jaguar while the boss was away on vacation. And he had the Jaguar parked outside of our house on the council estate. And he was looking in the own Jaguar, right? So my stepdad was looking through the window of the Jaguar and just like looking for something. And then all of the lads that I just told you about who live on my estate or near my estate came round and said to him, because they didn't know who he was at first, they were like, yo, why are you looking in the whip for? Like protecting it basically, because it was owned by us on the street. And he was like, yo, what are you looking in the whip for? And he was like, what do you mean? It's my whip. And he turned around, they realized who he was. It was my stepdad. They were like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. So I've just taken them from trying to kill me to not only friends with me, but also looking out for my family too. It's like, you can do this shit. You can have infinite power and influence over people at such a young age just by understanding how to speak, how to understand other people. I've always been good at that. I've always understood people because I've been through shit myself. I'm not some spoiled rich kid. It's so funny, I post Instagram reels and I get guys like, all right, daddy's money, spoiled rich kid, must be nice being born into money. I'm like, bro, you have no idea. I don't even know my dad. I haven't seen my dad since I was like 5. What are you talking about, bro? But yeah, it just goes to show the power of influence, right? So you learn this and we teach it properly in the School of Life. You can find that in the description or the comment section. We teach you how to utilize that ability and that influence to get anything you want. You want infinite money, you want women, you want to de-escalate a situation, you want to make friends. Literally anything you want can be done with the power of communication and human psychology. And we teach you all of that for a little over $3 a day. It's nothing, bro. If you can't even be willing to take a risk of $99 a month, how are you going to ever have the courage or the ability needed to make £10,000 a month? You're just not gonna be able to do it. So practice that ability, practice that courage, do something that scares you, like I mentioned before. Click the link down below, sign up to my organization, the School of Life, come and join a network of entrepreneurs and like-minded individuals and master every single realm of life. And I look forward to seeing you inside this Christmas. Take care.